Yeah, we're here with Kevin Pearce and Lucy Walker, whose film The Crash Reel debuted at Sundance last night. Kevin, I was wondering, what's it like for you to have a documentary about your ordeal? On the one hand, I could imagine it could be kind of liberating to have audiences see what you went through, but on the other hand, it could be kind of painful. How are you taking it in?
Yeah, no, it's good. Last night was the first time I saw it, and it was wild, to see myself, come back through this whole injury, and there's so much stuff that's in the film that I don't remember happening. So that was really good for me to see and see where I was just a couple years ago and how far I've been able to come back. And, I think it's awesome making this film and just raising awareness about traumatic brain injuries and just kind of what goes on with them and how much they're happening now in the world. It's really important to let people know and give them an insight of the whole deal.
Was that part of what compelled you to want to sort of take part in this whole project, is to raise that kind of awareness?
Yeah, I thought it was really important. I got maybe 8 or 9 concussions before this, and I'd never heard of a traumatic brain injury, and now over in Iraq and in the NFL and in action sports, it's just happening every day all over the place. So it's kind of like people really need to start, understanding what's happening with it.
And to see that you can come back from that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, the most important, is to show people, and that's what's so cool about this film, is that you really can heal your brain, and if you do the right things and, if you take the right steps and kind of have the right support team and kind of go at it the right way, you can come back and you can live a, amazing life.
Now, what is it like to premiere the movie here of all places? Because here's where you sustained that traumatic injury.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. It's really heavy coming back here, and you wouldn't expect it. I definitely didn't, driving back up here and just seeing that half pipe and just like knowing this is where it all went down, and this is a space that changed my life forever. And it's just wild to be back here and be at such an amazing film festival with such amazing people, and have it be the location of where it all happened.
But I'm curious, Lucy, how did you find Kevin's story? Because you're not exactly known for being a sports documentarian.
People always categorize you and think you can't do, a Matchbox toy documentary because you haven't done a Matchbox toy documentary before. I mean, I feel like, we directors tell stories in amazing worlds using the most amazing people we can find to move people and inspire people and raise awareness and just change the world by, sharing what it's like to be another human being who we don't get to meet every day. And I feel like it doesn't matter whether it's an Amish teenager or an action sports superstar or a blind kid in Tibet. It's the same skills. And I think a lot of people in sports looked at me and said, oh, she's going to make a snowboarding documentary. What does she know about snowboarding? So we really hope we're going to prove them wrong, because I like to think that we're filmmakers first and foremost, and to make a good snowboarding film, you have to be a good filmmaker first and foremost. Right. And I've learned a lot about snowboarding, and hopefully the snowboarders will appreciate that. And I have actually done some sports docs. I've done short films about Olympic athletes preparing for the Olympics, and I did my actually a film that was not here. I've had 5 films here at Sundance, but I had one that was not. I had one that premiered at Toronto. Sorry, Sundance, but that film somehow premiered at Toronto. But that was about Eric Weinmeier, the amazing blind mountaineer who conquered Everest. And I made a film and had to climb Everest and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm not going to have anyone tell me I don't make sports docs after climbing Everest while directing a film.
Pardon me for playing into that narrative.
Just saying. Yeah.
But I am curious. I mean, where did you find his story?
How did this start? Was literally well, there's a little bit of background. I've been here in Park City 3 years ago with my film Wasteland, and seen that I write for Kevin stickers everywhere, and I'd seen the news reports and felt very moved by the news story. But it wasn't until I met Kevin, we literally just met beautifully at a Nike retreat that they'd asked me to mentor their young action sports stars. A really cool retreat organized by our friend David de Rothschild, and Kevin had just had his accident, so he was on a different level at that time. You were really struggling to get with it, I think, still, and I just thought, wow, here's a superstar. Here is a superstar with the most amazing story that really dramatizes the stakes, that these incredible stars, the courage and the talent and the incredible way that they're progressing the sport, but at the same time, the risks they run. Because the way he was progressing the sport right before his crash is just breathtaking, and also makes amazing cinema. It's so visual and stunning, and you just can't rip your eyeballs away. But you also can't rip your eyeballs away because you're worried that something might go wrong. And Kevin is such a wonderful story because he's here to tell the tale, but boy, only just, man, you had us scared there. You know, that was a very, very, very close call. And Kevin is so candid about letting us into that journey. I thought, wow, this is quite a story. And I immediately had, as my filmmaker light bulb went on, only happens every few years, but my filmmaker light bulb went on. I thought, oh my gosh, here it comes, my next film. And I knew instantly that it would make an incredible film and that I would want to make it. And fortunately, I think we both pursued each other after that. He was calling me, I was calling him. We both just really wanted to do it, and his incredible family. There were so many aspects to the story that I thought would make really, really good, a really good film. And the fact that there's never been a film quite like this in the action sports space. There's a load of what I call ski porn. What do you call those movies that have all just the tricks in them?
Yeah, just ski and snowboard movies. Just
yeah,
standard.
Exactly. Standard, yeah. Great tricks, sometimes gorgeous cinematography.
But no story.
No story, no depth. You can't sort of sit through them. At least I can't unless I'm sitting in a bar and they're on silent in the corner, at which point my eye will go to them. But it's not like you want to sit through and wait and see what happens. So this film is the opposite. This film, I think, just sucks you in and won't let you go. And I think there's a lot to the story people are going to be really gripped by.
Well, congratulations on making it and for bringing it here. I guess just in closing, is there anything in particular that you hope the audiences will take away from the movie? I mean, I suppose part of that is that understanding about recovery that you were talking about earlier.
I think there's a lot. I got to toot this guy's horn a little bit because he's too modest, but he's the humblest but most, hardworking, inspirational guy. And what's really wonderful, one of the things that's really wonderful in the film is you see the skills and the passion and the dedication and the perseverance and the pain tolerance that it took to get to the top of his sport, the very top, is also the skills that he's employed to get right back up off the bottom and pick himself up after, from a coma, learning to walk and talk again. And it's such an inspiring journey. And I think his family is also like an object lesson in how to be a functional family. And Kevin's brother, David, with Down syndrome, I think is going to be the secret star of the Sundance Film Festival. Sorry, Kevin, but I have a feeling he's when he hits that red carpet tonight, a new star is going to be born. And I think this, as Kevin said, Kevin said something amazing in the film. He said to this other kid who had sustained 2 traumatic brain injuries snowboarding and is having a really hard time with paralysis and a lot of problems. Kevin really encourages him and says, you've got to love your brain. We didn't want this to happen to us, but it did, and we've got to accept it, and we've got to love your brain. And that really inspired us to want to take Kevin's incredible message about how to recover and really get it out there to all the veterans, all the young people, all the older people that are dealing with this issue. And so we're launching today our Love Your Brain, #LoveYourBrain campaign with loads of initiatives that is raising awareness, encouraging, incentivizing helmet use. The mountain resorts right around here, Park City, Powder, Sundance are the first ones to sign up, where they're giving kids discounts when they wear helmets. Wow. And because Kevin's helmet saved his life, and Kevin is such an incredible role model, especially for young people who are most at risk. And Kevin's friend. We were really surprised making this movie that even professional athletes who hit their head often didn't know what to do when they got concussed. So we really want to make sure that there's a little more awareness, and also that everyone's insured and everyone's taken care of. So we're kind of launching this Love Your Brain campaign, and that's the kind of outreach part of it. But I'm honored to introduce audiences to this incredible family and to, I think, understand this incredible journey that he's been on. And first and foremost, I think it's just an incredibly powerful movie, proper movie. And that's true.
I do. And I think what's great about it, and what really sticks out in the film for me is that, with hard work and perseverance, and when you set your mind to something and you're totally focused, anything's possible. And it's been a really hard past just about 3 years now, and it's been crazy what I've been put through, but it's like I've been so focused and dedicated the entire time, kind of like with my snowboarding. And like Lucy was saying, that's how I got to the top of snowboarding, and that's how I've got back here. And with just all these amazing people, Lucy, my family, my friends, the whole snowboard industry, all my sponsors. It's just like that's what's, you know, helped me come back and get back to my same old self.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much both for coming in, and congratulations on the movie.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Cut.